Books and One Click Digital present Chopping Spree by Diane Mott Davidson, narrated by Barbara Rosenblatt.
Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. From The World is Too Much with Us, by William Wordsworth. Princess without the price tag, jewelry leasing extravaganza. Elite Shoppers Lounge, Westside Mall, Monday, April 11th, 6 to 8 in the evening. Hors d'oeuvre buffet. Crown of cheeses, brie, gorgonzola, gruyere, sharp English cheddar, camembert. Herb brioche crostini, homemade crackers and corn chips. Tiaras of strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, and star fruit with creamy fruit dressing. Empress empanadas with guacamole and sour cream. Sweetheart's Swedish meatballs in burgundy sauce. Golden shrimp rolls with spicy sauce. Diamond Lover's hot crab dip. Shopper's chocolate truffles. Cocktails, premium wines and beers, coffee, tea, chai, and espresso drinks. Chapter 1. Success can kill you. So my best friend had been telling me anyway. Too much success is like arsenic in chocolate cake. Eat a slice a day, Marla announced with a sweep of her plump, bejeweled fingers, and you'll get cancer. Gobble the whole cake, you'll keel over and die on the spot. These observations, made over the course of a snowy March, had not cheered me. Besides, I'd have thought that Marla, with her inherited wealth and passion for shopping, would applaud the upward leap of my catering business, but she said she was worried about me. Frankly, I was worried about me too. In mid-March, I'd invited Marla over to taste cookies. Despite a sudden but typical Colorado blizzard, she'd roared over to our small house off Aspen Meadows Main Street in her shiny new BMW four-wheel drive. Sitting in our commercial kitchen, she'd munched on ginger snaps and spice cookies and harped on the fact that the newly frantic pace of my work had coincided with my 14-year-old son Arch's increasingly rotten behavior. I knew Marla doted on Arch, but in this, too, she was right. Arch's foray into athletics, begun that winter with snowboarding and a stint on his school's fencing team, had ended with a trophy, a sprained ankle, and an unprecedented burst of physical self-confidence. He'd been eager to plunge into spring sports. When he'd decided on lacrosse, I'd been happy for him. That changed when I attended the first game. Watching my son forcefully shove an opponent aside and steal the ball, I'd felt queasy. With Arch's father, a rich doctor who'd had many violent episodes himself, now serving time for parole violation, all that slashing and hitting was more than I could take. But even more worrisome than the sport itself, Marla and I agreed, were Arch's new teammates, an unrepentant gang of spoiled, acquisitive brats. Unfortunately, Arch thought the lacrosse guys were beyond cool. He spent hours with them, claiming that he forgot to tell us where he was going after practice. We could have sent him an email telling him to call, Arch protested. If he only had what all his pals had, to wit, internet access watches. Your own watch could have told you what time it was, I told him, when I picked him up from the country club estate where the senior who was supposed to drive him home had left him off. Arch ignored me. These new friends, he'd announced glumly, also had global positioning system calculators, model bazillion Palm Pilots, and electric acoustic guitars that cost $800 and up. These litanies were always accompanied with not-so-tactful reminders that his 15th birthday was right around the corner. He wanted everything on his list, he announced as he tucked a scroll of paper into my purse. After all, with all the parties I'd booked, I could finally afford to get him some really good stuff. And no telling what'll happen if I don't get what I want, he'd added darkly. Marla informed me that he'd already given her a list. I'd shrug.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.